Welcome back to Bull Sessions here on 680 KFEQ. Got a question that you want Brad to answer on the show? Got an idea for the show? Email the guys at bull@willcross.net. Now, here's Randy Baker and agronomist Brad Law.
Are you awake, Bradley?
Yes, I'm still awake and I'm still roaring to go.
We're talking about small town living.
Yes.
We're talking about small towns, how important they are, how important it is to support them.
You know how we talk about small towns and me not being fully awake?
Yeah.
You ever had the wool kind of shimmied around and not realized what was going on?
Yeah.
Well, we talk about local businesses and supporting the local community, and I'm on the Chamber of Commerce.
Oh, yes, I know.
And you know how that happened? Well, I got picked up in a truck that somebody suggested that I be picked up, and I get in at the seat house with him, and we drive about a half mile and says, oh, we really want you to be a chamber officer. You don't have to be president yet, but we think vice president would be good for you. And you turn the corner, you drive half a block, and then you get out and you walk in, and then they start the meeting and they vote on it.
And that was you.
That was me, and then you're vice president, and then 2 years later, you're looking to be the president-elect.
Starting in January, yes.
Yeah.
You have a new job to do.
And it pays wonderfully.
It does.
$0 an hour.
That's good. You're supporting the small town.
But the chamber does.
That happens.
They do a Back to King City night.
Yes.
They do a deal with Santa. They do part of the farmers market is with Chamber.
Yes.
They do they do the trick or treat the merchants.
Yes.
At Halloween.
That's coming up.
It is.
That's almost here.
So we also want to talk about back when.
Back when.
We talked about that, the chamber sponsoring the Santa Claus
I can't
deal.
go too far back as young as I am, Bradley,
Yeah, but you were telling me the other day about what you remembered there in Union Star about Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I wondered if you'd share that story with everybody.
I will. Yeah, I remember growing up there. We, right before Christmas, always Santa came to town. Big deal. Rural town, I'm talking, back in the 60s. And
probably on a fire truck.
Oh, he did, absolutely. He come into town on a fire truck. There was a big Christmas tree set right there in the middle of town. Santa would come down there, and, of course, he, like you said, the sirens was screaming and the lights a flashing, and he would always, you go up and talk with him, and everybody got a little, like, lunch sack now, paper bag. There'd be an apple and an orange and some peanuts still in the shell. Some of them old orange circus peanuts, if you know what I'm talking, some of them too. Yeah, and
I remember
it was
those.
Like gold when we was young like that. That went on for years. It finally quit, kind of dwindled away. A year ago, after church, some friends of us, we went up to there is a new little restaurant there called the Cedar Street Cafe. That's a plug, Rob.
Randy wants a discount on he wants a free salad
chicken dinner
next time. Free salad with blue cheese dressing.
Exactly, blue cheese. No, but it was Sunday after church, and some of us, we'd go up there. It's fried chicken on Sunday. It's as authentic and as old-time as it gets, and it's wonderful. We're sitting around there, and we're talking about remember when. The tree was sitting right out there on the corner and so forth, and one thing kind of led to another, and Rob, who owns that, he said, you want to do that this year? I'll donate a tree. And it just kind of took off.
Everybody does a little bit.
Everybody did. And we had a Santa, a brand new fire truck out there, and we did that again this year. It just kind of grew from there. And it was unbelievable how many people turned up for that. Channel 2 news station here in St. Joe, they was out filming the event. I had heard there was like 500 people who had came there. The Cedar Street Cafe was open, and the lines come through there because, the old buildings there, they had the bay full-length window out front. It used to be the old hardware store. And Santa sat there the church had donated one of the big chairs that looks more like a throne. And Santa sat there, and it was 2 hours of nonstop children come in. Santa had 2 beautiful young ladies as elves. They was dressed up as elves, and they was handing out those paper lunch sacks full of candy. We just recreated those days, and the eyes on them children, you can't describe it. It is priceless. Priceless. You can't describe those feelings that they had, that I had, and watching that happen again. My grandchildren were there and loved every minute of it. It was a special moment, and everyone wants to do it again this year. So,
well, that's good, and to bring something back that'd been going on like that.
Yeah. And had a huge turnout.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just a few of us sitting in there that day that was reliving and being corny about the old times. It took off. It spread like fire.
It's one of those sayings,
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't like Santa Claus?
Yeah. Well, I think everybody does.
Yeah. And, you were down there at Union Star. And one other thing, we kind of skipping around on the calendar. But down there at Union Star, they have a big mud-a-thon.
They do, Memorial Weekend.
And that brings in a lot of people.
From a lot of different places.
And they play in the mud.
They do. And redneck farm boys love nothing better.
Well, mud, diesel smoke. I mean, it's all good. It's all good.
And there's both there. You got the diesel truck smoke and all of that rolling. Yeah, I think I see more and more these smaller towns are trying to get a resurgence in a lot of activities and so forth. Maysville has got some things that they do now with, they've got a farmer's market type deal set up over there as well.
Well, and look, you think about like your 4-H, your FFA, these groups that are all over that have good programs and people get a few people together and they grow.
They do.
And
you need people to do it. I mean, it takes volunteers. None of these jobs pay.
No, they don't pay.
And that don't interest a lot of people nowadays, but you'll be surprised how many people, if they know and they're working together for something, a common good thing like that. I mean, we learn that in these rural churches. It's about unity. It's about everybody working together.
Well, I remember the big Easter egg hunt up at the manor.
Oh, yeah.
And, as a kid, I remember this one big bunny they gave away one year.
You bet.
And now it's really neat that I went and I did that Easter egg hunt, and now I'm coming back and taking my children to do those Easter egg hunts.
And it means just as much to them as it did to you.
And they're excited, you know. Or like go up to Stanbury on the 4th of July and do the parade there. We've got a candy bowl at home. Somehow it got started. But by the time we do trick or treat, it'll last till about Easter, and then we do the Easter egg hunts, and then there's 4th of July, the parade there that gets candy. Yeah. There's the homecoming parade. Well, it's a never-ending candy bowl,
and it's free, and that's why you are all about it.
Well, but it's
do you
neat.
Sell that candy back out?
No, but it's just neat to see.
Oh, it is.
Everybody, all the stuff. And remembering that Easter egg hunt, or go, on the 4th of July, just in our little blip there, Stanbury has a fireworks show. Albany has a fireworks show.
Union Star's got
Union Star's got one. King City's got one. And what's really neat is they spaced them out to where they're not all on the same day.
They do. They kind of work together and collaborate. Is wonderful.
So then if you've got something planned with family, you don't miss all the fireworks, well, you can go. I have nothing against going to Union Star or going to Stanbury.
No.
And it's neat that everybody's got it and they're spread out so then you can enjoy them.
You bet.
And
even at the Union Star fireworks deal, that's around the 4th, like most all of them are, but they have... The church there has homemade pie and homemade ice cream like he was talking about, social, that it's just like a donation deal only. But, Bradley, I gain 10 pounds every year when I go there because I don't even eat supper. And I think I've got to try a bite of every ice cream and every pie there.
Every pie. So you're by bite, you're talking like a quarter piece of pie?
Well, no, maybe, yeah. I think so.
Okay,
yeah.
and then by ice cream,
like a tablespoon, but by the time you get through it, you've got a trash can lid full, and you can't let it go to waste.
Well, and then you can't just take one bite. It's like that. Once you pop, you can't stop. You know, you've got to.
You got to keep.
You got to make sure you fully let the full palate.
Yeah.
Big words. The palate of taste buds.
You have no
enjoy
idea what you're talking about.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
It sounded good. Yeah. Helena, they have a big Easter egg hunt.
Yeah,
Union Star, I think most all of them have that. The Easter eggs.
About the Legion and Lions. Don't they do a pancake breakfast?
Yes, they do.
Several
pancake
of those
and
all
sausage.
do pancake and sausage breakfast.
Yeah, and then the leftover sausage they go around and sell, and then that money is used for other community projects. It keeps a cash flow that way. It's when people when they're not just in it for the money or they get greedy about these things, that is the payoff, is to watch a community, to watch the smiling children, to watch the smiling adults. I mean, I'm a big kid when I go back and do those things. I love it.
Well, this has been a good show, and we probably ought to start winding it down, Randy.
I know.
Because we've covered a lot of stuff.
We didn't talk much about farming, though, but without a farm community, you have no farmers. So
right.
It's all part
and the
of
farmers
the deal.
coming in for dinner at the cafe and supporting the local stores, it takes everybody to make the community work.
It does. Everybody in support and doing what's right. It's a wonderful thing. And, well, of course, too, you're not going to get out of here without my scripture.
All right. Well,
it's Romans 12, 4-5. For as we have many members in one body, but all the members do not have the same function, so we, being many, are one body in Christ, and individually members of one another. That's going to wrap us up, Bradley. So
right.
I will
Thank
see you next week on Bull Sessions on 680 KFEQ.
Thanks